gosh. Okay, from like just like this, not too bad. Oh my gosh. Wait, is this, am I being like delusional at the moment? But I kind of think it works. I'm on a table, so also don't do this unless you don't mind messing up your hair. It looks even from here. But when I was like that. Oh, okay. This is my third time recording this video, so I really hope that this time it works. The first two times the audio decided to abandon me halfway through. There is one thing that I can't replicate in this video, and that is me cutting my fringe. Yes, I did end up cutting my fringe, and cutting my fringe was the best decision because it gave me that sweep, that blowout look that I was looking for. So in this video, I'm a little bit more experienced. This will technically be my third time using these hot rollers by Remington. If you are like me, I have not discovered, or I didn't even know hot rollers existed until about a month ago. And even then I didn't know what they were. So if you're new, completely new to anything in life, these are the Remington hot rollers. They're actually not too pricey. I got them on sale for about 39 to 40 pounds. Compared to the Dyson Airwrap, this is pretty good. So the hot rollers are essentially, you see these rods underneath, they are heated by these rods. The good thing about the Remington one is that these clips are also heated while it's heating the actual rollers. And the good thing about it is that when you're rolling your hair up, it heats out the outer part of your hair as well. There are so many different ways of using rollers in general. I'm just going to share the ways that I've done it. This time I'm going to do something slightly different. Normally I go from top to bottom, rolling them up, just because I want to make sure there's enough on the top, but this time I'm going to do the opposite, which is what most people do anyway, from bottom up, because I want my whole hair to be quite structured, as in when I put these in, I don't want them to be moving around. These hot rollers are already heated. They did say that keep the lid on. Although they did say heat them for 10 minutes, I recommend heating them for a lot longer, as long as you can. Mine's been heated for about half an hour. I need to go and brush my hair, and I'm just going to show you everything that I do. And fingers crossed I get the same blowout look, so we're going to see. So there is a couple of things that I do use. When I prepped my hair for the first time, I actually did blow dry my hair. The second time I didn't blow dry it, and I would recommend not blow drying your hair. It lasted a bit longer, and the curls, it gave more of a blowout look rather than the first time. Just wasn't very curly. Also the fact that I only heated up for 10 minutes. I followed the instructions to a T the first time, and the results was okay. My hair is, I would say it's coarse, it's thick, and it doesn't like to curl. I don't think I'll ever have a blowout look that will last more than a whole day, but if it lasts for a day, for me that is a win. A couple of things that I do have to say: heat protectant spray, always. So the one I'm using is the Tresemme Heat Defense. I just use that for everything. The second thing that I recently got was the Mousse Firm Hold. I think I will up that to a strength 5, but I got this from Superdrug. It's the cheapest one that they have because I didn't want to spend too much money on it personally. I personally don't like hairsprays because I don't like that stiff, crispy feel in my hair. So this is why I ended up going for a mousse. And then the third thing I have is Raise the Root from Color Wow. This thing is incredible. When I am super lazy, I just put these on. I personally really like this one, Raise the Roots. If you have flat roots like me, especially after a couple of days after I've washed my hair, it's as flat as it gets. And no matter how much I move my hair, it will still stay flat. So this is something that I normally go for if I didn't have the hot rollers or I didn't have any products in my hair. I would just go for this and then I'm out. However, this makes the hot rollers to a different level. Sometimes you might not even need this, but I'm just going to show you everything that I could be using in this video. So I washed my hair yesterday and I let my hair air dry. As I said, I find the results better when you air dry it. The hair's just a bit more dense rather than fluffy. So as I mentioned, yesterday I've washed my hair. I did use conditioner, and then after that I let it air dry. That's all I did. You don't have to wait till the next day. It's just for me, and my hair genuinely takes about like half a day to dry. So a lot of times it's easier just to wash it, forget about it, and then next day go in with the styling or however I want it. So that's normally how I do it. So the first thing I'm doing now is just brushing my hair to get rid of all the knots. And then I'm gonna go in with the heat protectant hairspray. I'm really hoping this works. One thing I've noticed as well, like when I do this, anything to do with hair, my whole room smells like products. I think it's this smell. Apparently some mousse contains heat protectant spray, but don't take my word for it. I just realised I've done the heat disinfectant first, but it's a bit late now. I'm going to do the mousse next, but I think normally you do the mousse, then the heat protectant spray. I've done it the wrong way around today. This mousse is so hard to use, but such an interesting... I would just... This time I'm going to do the opposite, so I'm going to do below to up, and hopefully I have more rollers for the top part. So let's do halfway for my head. I'm going to start with the small ones. It comes with 20 rolls, so 8 small ones and 12 large ones. So those are the size difference. So I tend to go for the small rolls at the bottom just because I like them smaller. I tend to go halfway through and I roll it up and I roll it under. I always roll my hair under. I don't care where it is on my head, it's under, because for me it gives me like the most volume, I find. Okay, so I've got the bottom done. Right, so now I've got that extra strand here. This is a bit where I don't really know how people do this, but I'm gonna go and do the next section. See, this is the thing about going bottom to up. All of your hair is now on the second layer up and it's going over the hair at the bottom. When you're brushing your hair as well, you just want to be careful you're not brushing into the ones that you've already done, because that has happened before. I think I still prefer going from top to bottom. This bottom up is more complicated for me. Okay. Right, that's my under done. Good news, I've got 6 left, 7 left, and I've got this amount of hair left, which is not a lot. In terms of hair wise, I've got not a lot of hair, but it's definitely going to use up all of it. One thing as well is that when you're wrapping these up, I would strongly recommend try and wrap them up as tight as you can. Sometimes it's not possible. I definitely prefer it when you do it from top to bottom. And then the front ones, which are my self-cut fringe, however you want to see them. These ones, I'm going to do it under from the front. Technically I should be done, but there's a couple of things that's like really sticking out to me, which I'm going to fix because I've got 3 of these left. So I'm definitely going to say bottom up is not the way for me. So I'm going to leave it there. I will see you in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. In about an hour. I'm not going to do any longer just because I don't know. Anyway, we're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to do the bottom first. I always get rid of the bottom first. Also I need to heat up my curls, but this is the first one. I'm just going to heat this up as I remove my curls, but you can see it's heating with that orange. And every time I finish doing it, I'm just going to put it back in. So that's one. Do another one. Also, before I forget, the first time I did this, I didn't use a mousse and it literally dropped in about 5 minutes. Like after 5 minutes, you couldn't tell that I curled my hair. So the mousse is a huge thing for me. They are giving like more waves than curls, which for me, I'm okay with. I know some people like them to be like curls, but for me, like I said, I'm looking for volume, which I think this is giving it to me. I might actually move these 2 just because I feel like it's kind of playing, like merging with my hair. And you can't really see the whole thing. Almost on the last one. See, the smaller ones are definitely much more curly. So I would say if you can, do them smaller, which I can because I've got some leftovers. Almost there, just got the last one left. Oh my gosh. Can I get away with a fringe? Oh gosh, okay. I'm not doing very well here. Let's see. The front part, I might need to just redo the front. So I'm just gonna very loosely pin the back just for now. I'm literally just gonna like relax it a little bit. Oh yeah. Right, that's much more relaxed. And then it should. Right. So now I'm just gonna loosen it up but you can brush it through. I like to brush it through as well, to be honest, but initially I like to just go through it with my hand just to see what I've done. Okay, that feels so good. Right, okay, that's my hair done. I do like brushing it because it makes it feel more natural. Like, it feels like I don't have any products in my hair, if that makes sense. So that's what I do like about brushing it. It does change it ever so slightly. So you can see it's slightly, but it's not, as long as you're careful like where you're brushing it, brush up for your fringe part. So normally I'll be quite happy as it is, but if I want that extra volume, I will go in with this. Spray like the roots. For me, it just also means I know it's going to last longer. So that's pretty much everything. Let me know what's your thoughts. This is essentially the look. I really like it. It's the kind of right curl for me. It's barely a curl is what I'm saying. It's more like a blowout look. A little bit of waviness, a lot of volume, and that's it. That is me done. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I would highly recommend, after using these as well, that you use a bit of oil just to kind of go through your hair a little bit, just to avoid that like slight frizz. My hair normally doesn't frizz, but when I do stuff like this, it does. It definitely does frizz a bit, but for me it doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, that is my hair. This is the back.